Welcome to the YouTube interviews, the effects of the COVID-19 virus on the arts and beyond. My name is Brian Murphy. Today we have this special guest. Her perspective is going to be very, very interesting. This is Judy Hassink Newman. She was formerly a Fox 8 News Channel 5 executive and the general manager of Windows on the River. Judy, welcome.
Hello, Brian. How are you tonight?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
Great to see you.
Judy, every day we turn the TV on and we see these reporters reporting on something right now that's pretty devastating, to be honest. They keep a straight face. They keep their cool. Talk to me about what these reporters are going through.
Sure. Well, after 21 years of working in the television business, I can honestly tell you that working in a television station, it never sleeps. It never rests. It's constantly shaping and moving and evolving so that the news is fresh. So the input that's coming in on the television screens and from all sorts of different media outlets is a constant and being almost a feeling of at the direct epicenter of any situation, good or bad. So what a news reporter may feel is that they're getting information in advance to what the viewer is seeing, more information that may not be reported because of timing or content. And, they're really under a lot of pressure and stress to get the information out right, clear, and in a sense, not in an alarming way to scare people. So I'm sure they're going through a lot of stress and pressure right now in their jobs and just trying to appear to be relaxed and confident. And back in the day when I worked at Channel 5 and Channel 8, we had gone through 9/11, which was overwhelming to see, all the video screens of so many different shots and things that were going on, as well as the anthrax scare, and just knowing all of the ins and outs of what was going on locally and nationally. So right now, those reporters are in the same boat of having a strong influx of information, but at the same time, keeping it together and being very cool and calm on air.
Judy, speaking of 9/11, life changed after that. The anthrax, every time you go through this scenario, life changes. For some reason, this one feels different, but maybe not. Maybe it's just bigger. Does this change the way reporters report? Does this type of scenario make it, you just change the way you report, or is it the same?
I think so. I think any good news station has a good news director and also a great news manager and general manager that connect to each other on probably a daily basis, but now on an hourly basis and a moment basis, so that everything is very clear about what is going on and what is reported. I think that this vision is different because it doesn't have an ending, something to say, okay, we're getting to that point where we can end this and move on, because this is in such a state of flux and no one knows on a daily basis where this is going and how it's going to end is definitely a topic that's hard to report on, because you want to say, okay, this is the end of the rainbow and this is what we have to look forward to when we have a goal. So I think it's very different because of that. And even when you have something very hard to report on or to talk about, even down to the sales department, people are asking questions about what's going on in the world. This is a topic where it's probably being discussed with the entire staff of how to address the situation, how to act appropriately, and what to say and what not to say, so that people aren't saying things out of their comfort zone, but also about information that's going on in the station that should stay in the station.
So Judy, being part of the TV industry, and then you sitting back, you've retired from it, when you see your colleagues going through this, what's going through your mind?
What's going through my mind, Brian, is that after working in the business for so many years and feeling that sense that you're getting information and knowledge that is correct and right on the spot, and no longer having that ability to feel like the focus of the world, I can tell you honestly that one on the outside feels a little lost.
Interesting.
On the inside, it's actually a comfort to know what's going on and how to present it and how to feel about it. Just because the news is coming in so many ways, in so many information ways into that station, that it's a blessing to be there and to see what's going on. They're probably feeling a lot of emotions about it, and some of them are comforting and some of them are stressful.
So what about you, Judy? How are you doing with all this?
Well, I'm a glass half full person.
I love. You know what? I should have had a big glass of water right here. I should have it completely full. I said, "This is Judy." Yes.
The minute I heard that school was not going to be going on the next day, I went into combat mode and did what I would do, working at the television station, and that is to prepare myself and my family. So, I went out and I didn't buy 50 million toilet paper, but I did buy enough food for a couple of weeks and tried to prepare our home and our family for what was to come. And I feel like I'm still in that role and mode a bit, but a little bit more comfortable about, making 3 meals a day and living together all the time. I'm lucky and blessed that we all like each other and we get along well. So for me, I think it's been a blessing that I had that experience in television so that I kind of can understand what's going on in the news on a daily basis, but also it kind of relieves the anxiety for us in our house.
Your perspective is going to be interesting in this next question. Based on your knowledge and your history, what do you think is going to happen 3 months from now?
I guess what I'd like to say and what I'd like to see happen is that this all clears up and there's a rainbow at the end of the pot, and that less lives were taken from this virus, and that we all learned some very good lessons about ourselves and the world, and that we all take a moment to really smell the roses. And I think that that's what's happening here in the United States and all over the world, is that people are reflecting. It's one of the thoughts I've had is how long people will actually stay in that mindset of being grateful. So I think that'll be interesting to see how people react. And of course, what I'd love to see is that, we hurry up and find a vaccine, and that in between that, we find a way to treat people, and that people actually do listen, and if they can, because not all people can stay in their home because of their jobs or their situation or their health. But if they are able, that they actually do that until someone figures out what is going on and how to solve the problem. I do know that probably the greatest minds in the world are working on this situation as you and I are even talking. And so I really am confident that eventually someone will solve all the puzzle pieces and put it together.
When you talked, I was thinking like community, before this, and literally it changed overnight.
Yes.
Where we were very separate. maybe it's just an illusion, but I feel the sense of community feel. If there's anything that comes out of this on the positive end, that when we look at the person, like you just said, the person next to you as a human being,
Yes.
as
Yes.
somebody who has feelings, somebody who has a job, whatever it is. If there's anything that comes out of this, I feel like that's what's going to come out also. Do you agree?
I completely agree. And that's one of the things that I just think is so great about yourself, Brian. And it's a wonderful, beautiful way to think. And I think if we all try to remain positive and stay in that mindset, that it would be a blessing in the end.
And the whole thing about this project is when whoever's listening to this between now and whenever this all comes out, is it's going to be a time frame. They're going to be in their house or whatever it is for like 2 months when they listen to this. Their brain, we get cabin fever and we got to deal with the emotions that come with that. But hopefully when they watch or listen to this, you can take a deep breath.
Yes.
And know that we are going to get through it.
Yes.
And that the community around you is facing the same things you're facing. And I think that because of that, it becomes more of a natural sense of togetherness.
Yes. Yes, that's a beautiful way to look at it.
And well, this conversation brings that out. You brought that out of me, Judy. So I think that people like you and others and these experiences are important for us. I didn't know what these reporters go through. I see them every day. Every day we turn the TV on, we see them. What are these people going through? They're very professional.
Yes.
And they try to get to the bottom. No matter what people say, they want to get to the bottom of what's going on. That's their thing. Right?
They're highly trained individuals. They are very confident about how they express themselves in their emotions. Yes. And some of them are great risk takers into what they want to talk about and what their news department wants them to talk about. And they're definitely on the pace, on the pulse of what's going on for us on a daily basis, and especially on something like this.
Correct. With that being said, this is Judy Hassink, Newman. Thank you very much for being part of this, Judy. Can we visit this again in a couple months?
Yes, absolutely, Brian. I love that.
That's great.
Thank you.
This is great. Thank you so much.
God bless, Brian.
Really appreciate it. You take care, okay?
Take care.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yes.